I think I'm gonna get a job on one of those fishing ships, Jimmy. What do you think about that idea?
It can be lucrative, but dangerous.
Yeah, you're probably right. Hey, wasn't your grandpa a crew member on a ship at one time?
Yeah, he always told my dad stories about his voyages, and my dad told me those same stories. There was one scary story, though. It makes me shiver just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah? Tell me the story. I bet it won't scare me.
Okay, then, let's have a story, shall we? It was on a cold, windy November night. A thick fog had settled in over the Cardiff. The Cardiff was the radio ship my grandpa sailed on, and it was on this ship he witnessed something truly horrifying. The fog was thick, and the wind was gentle. It rocked the ship back and forth as a moderate winter storm came about. My grandpa Tony was in the broadcasting room with Leslie Cayley. She was the radio operator for the ship. My grandpa was merely about to take her shift, so Leslie could rest. As Leslie was about to stand up, some static buzzed through the radio. It was all scrambled. And this static was a voice. The voice cried,
Mayday, SOS.
and that it was from an old and small cargo ship named the MV Meridian. This message repeated over and over again several times. Then it spoke. The ship's coordinates. -27918.40. 87044.30. That is when the transmission stopped. All went silent. My grandpa said that him and Leslie looked at each other for a whole minute. They were speechless. Could this be real? They said of course, and immediately tried to respond to the distress call. They received no response and made a call to the Tajin airstrip. On the airstrip was a small search and rescue outpost. Someone is there 24/7, 365 days a year, they say. So, they called into the outpost. And they received a response.
We read you loud and clear, Cardiff. What's the situation?
Yeah. This is Cardiff. I am sending you this message to let you know we have received a distress call from a small cargo ship. They sent over their coordinates before the radio went silent.
The coordinates are -27918.40 and 87044.3.
Roger that, Cardiff. We will be dispatching a search and rescue vessel shortly. What's your position? Over.
We are at -24009.10 87967.30. Over.
Roger. It looks like you're not too far from this distressed location. Could you sail over there and take a look? If you are able to safely do it, rescue anyone in the water. Over.
We must notify our captain, but sure thing. If possible, we will take a look. Out.
My grandpa Tony went to notify the captain, while Leslie listened diligently to the radio for any more information, while also making periodic call-outs to the distressed vessel. My grandpa woke the captain, Captain Ken Oskin, and told him about the situation. Ken was out of bed and ready to do what he could to assist the search and rescue team in rescuing any survivors. Ken was a middle-aged man in his mid-30s. He ran to the helm, honked the horn a few times, flipped the nav lights on, and set the ship to maximum speed. He looked over at my grandpa and said, Wake the crew, if they aren't awake yet. So my grandpa did that. The Cardiff set sail and was en route to the last known location of the MV Meridian. Then after about half an hour, they found the Meridian. It was eerily quiet. The wind had calmed, the rain had stopped, but the fog was even more thick. Not a sound was heard except for the gentle waves swishing along the side of the ship. In the distance, the Meridian's lights pierced through the fog, but no one was aboard. The ship sat in the water with crates and barrels overboard, and her bow dipped and listed to one side in the water. It wasn't going under, at least not yet it seemed. Ken grabbed his binoculars and walked onto the deck of the Cardiff. He scanned the Meridian carefully and ordered my grandpa Tony to take the helm and position the Cardiff that the spotlights could be utilized to aid in scanning the ship. My grandpa did just that, and Kane Naskin turned the spotlights on while Daniel Kolari grabbed the extra binocular and helped scan the ship in the distance. But no luck. They couldn't see anyone in the water or on board the Meridian. Ken told Kane to tell Leslie to radio the information to the search and rescue outpost. Kane hustled to the broadcasting room to tell Leslie, while Ken scanned the waters again. Leslie, the captain said to radio the search and rescue outpost and let them know we have arrived at the Meridian and no signs of life are apparent. Okay, Kane. I'll call it in. Wait here so you can go let the captain know the search and rescue outpost's response. Okay. Then something happened. My grandpa was scanning the waters around the ship when all of a sudden he saw what looked like a corpse from the distance. But upon closer examination, he realized it wasn't actually a corpse. It was a little girl. She was in the water near the bow of the ship. Immediately my grandpa yelled to the captain and said,
Captain, a little girl be in the water near the Meridian's bow.
Tony, bring the Cardiff near the Meridian. We need to get that girl out of the water before she freezes to death. If it isn't already too late.
Aye, aye, Captain.
My grandpa piloted the ship nearer to the Meridian, but the little girl wasn't there anymore. Captain Ken was angry that no girl was there. He looked at my grandpa and said,
Where is this girl you spoke of? No one is here. It's just crates and barrels.
My mistake, Captain. I could have sworn I saw a little girl.
Meanwhile, below deck, Leslie got word from the search and rescue outpost. Their ship was almost there, and told us to keep searching the waters. Kane relayed the message to the captain, and they continued the search. Then the search and rescue ship arrived. The ship pulled up near the Cardiff, and the captain began to tell the search and rescue crew everything that had happened. The search and rescue crew boarded the old cargo ship. The Cardiff and her crew watched from a distance. A search and rescue crew member exclaimed that the ship was extremely rusty and felt as if he would fall through the old metal deck at any moment. The doors were locked and the lights were on, but nobody was home. They peered in through the window of the Meridian. Its rooms were empty, not a single piece of furniture, no bodies, nothing. What's even stranger is the fact that even with the amount of holes and how rusty it was, the ship was still partially afloat. The search and rescue crew got off the Meridian and told the Cardiff crew that they would call a tug to tug it back to port. But aside from that, there wasn't much they could do. They sent the Cardiff on her way, and the Cardiff went back to the spot they were at before. As the Cardiff sailed away, My grandpa stood on the top deck near the stern of the Cardiff. He watched the Meridian as the Cardiff ventured further away. The search and rescue crew could be seen searching the surrounding waters of the Meridian. As my grandpa watched, he said he saw the girl again. She was watching from the pilot's house of the Meridian, staring back into my grandpa's eyes, just out of view of the search and rescue crew. My grandpa said when their eyes met, a deep, cool chill shot up his spine, and the hairs on his neck stood up. The Cardiff and her crew would go on to finish their shift at the location they were before the incident. Once my grandpa got back, he thought he'd swing by and see if any news came up on the old Meridian that the search and rescue crew said would have been towed. Nothing, not a damn thing, was written in the papers. So he went to the search and rescue outpost, and the employees there claimed they didn't know what he was talking about. The one thing he did find in the papers, though, is a section about a search and rescue crew and ship going missing on the same day that the event happened. My grandpa got shivers down his spine as he saw the article.
That is one scary story, man. I wonder if they ever tugged the ship back. And if so, what they did with it. If not, where did it go? And where did that search and rescue crew disappear to?